The latest season of Demon Slayer, the Hashira training arc, stands out for once again captivating fans with its compelling storytelling and stunning visuals. Though Demon Slayer is highly known for its dark premise and features epic battles, comedy is another great element. The narrative of the latest season leaned towards a more serious tone, with anime original sequences further emphasizing the Hashira's gripping stories. However, amid the poignant stories of the Hashira and Tanjiro's motivational journey toward becoming a Hashira, the newest season of Demon Slayer includes humorous moments that add a lighter tone to the unfolding drama. These comedic scenes involve not only the main trio but also the Hashira, the titular characters of the season. Although the comic relief in the Hashira training arc is brief, it is nonetheless hilarious, effectively balancing the season's dark and thrilling premise. Number 10. Nezuko's appearance is an instant classic. The first episode of the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc continues to showcase the repercussions of the battle against the two Upper Moon demons. Following this intense encounter, the episode is filled with hilarious moments to lighten the mood. One such instance involves the recurring character Nezuko, the swordsmith. Nezuko's appearances are always a source of instant comedic relief, continuing the running gag between him and Tanjiro regarding the swords. This time was no different, however, the tone is even more hilarious due to Nezuko continuously trembling because of the wounds he received during the previous encounter, which rendered him unable to speak. Regardless of his condition, Nezuko finds the courage to threaten Tanjiro as he always did, demanding Tanjiro to bring him rice balls every day for the rest of their lives. Number 9. Kanroji explaining the mark. The main purpose of the training regimen in the latest season was to help the Demon Slayers manifest the mark. However, before the training could commence, Amane, Kagaya Ubuyashiki's wife, wanted everyone to understand how this mark could be manifested. Since Kanroji and Muichiro had already manifested the mark, she asked the Love Hashira to explain the process, as Tanjiro's explanation was too vague. As a Hashira, Kanroji feels compelled to explain how she felt when she manifested the mark, however, her answer turned out to be just as vague as Tanjiro's. Realizing she had embarrassed herself, with the snake Hashira feeling second-hand embarrassment for her, Kanroji immediately apologized with great sincerity. The subtitles even highlighted that Kanroji is a Tanjiro-type person, underscoring her earnest, unintentionally funny, and apologetic nature. Number 8. Nezuko referring to Zenitsu with Inosuke's name. Another moment from the first episode of Demon Slayer Hashira training features Zenitsu's hilarious and chaotic reaction to listening to Nezuko speak for the first time. However, this is surely the last thing that Zenitsu would want to hear, especially from Nezuko's mouth. Zenitsu arrives at the Butterly mansion after another near-death mission, complaining about it to the ladies at the mansion. However, upon seeing Nezuko up and walking in the sun, Zenitsu's mood brightens instantly. But his joy quickly turns to anger when Nezuko mistakenly refers to him as Inosuke. In his fury, Zenitsu vows to kill Inosuke for this mistake. The situation is made even funnier by a flashback showing Inosuke attempting to teach Nezuko his name, which is an ironic and hilarious twist, considering that Inosuke himself can never remember anyone's name. Number 7. Tanjiro and Giyu assuming the Wind Hashira loves red bean mochi. Given how the Hashira are typically depicted in such an intriguing and serious manner, aside from Kanroji and Rengoku perhaps, it's hard to imagine there being room for comedy when two Hashira are together. However, a moment from the season's penultimate episode proves otherwise, thanks to Tanjiro's involvement. The humor emerges when Tanjiro misinterprets the Wind Hashira Tsunemi Shinazugawa's intentions. Assuming that Tsunemi wants to kill the water Hashira Giyu Tomioka, Tanjiro is thrown into a comedic misunderstanding, when in reality, Tsunemi is simply referring to training. The situation escalates when Tanjiro offers to bring Tsunemi the red bean mochi, having smelled it during his training under the Wind Hashira and assuming Tsunemi must love it. Perplexed and annoyed, Tsunemi leaves exclaiming that he hates Tanjiro while, hilariously, Giyu says that he will hide red bean mochi in his pocket and give it to Tsunemi the next time they meet, hoping it will help form a friendship. Number 6. The snake Hashira's jealousy towards Tanjiro. Up until this season, the Hashiras in Demon Slayer had refrained from showing any sort of emotion, which gave them an almost inhuman demeanor. However, the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc showcased the Hashiras expressing all sorts of emotions, including comedic jealousy. After arriving at the Snake Hashira's training ground, Obanai immediately informs Tanjiro that he hates him, as the flashback reveals that Obanai's hate towards him is out of jealousy. The hilarity escalates when the Snake Hashira reveals that he has prepared a special training course for Tanjiro. The scene humorously depicts the trainees already stuck to the walls in awkward and bizarre positions. It's both amusing and revealing as Tanjiro realizes that this new test will be even more grueling than those he has faced before. Number 5. Zenitsu and Inosuke hilariously almost die while training. The last part of the Hashira training involves passing the hurdles set up by the strongest Hashira, Gyome Himehime, and as it is the last part of the training, the tests are the most difficult. As soon as Zenitsu and Tanjiro arrived, they were compelled to start the training right away, which involved sitting under the freezing waterfall while chanting words to fortify their minds. Tanjiro is impressed by Inosuke's determination, as he persists in training even while the trainees are taking constant breaks as they are unable to withstand the harsh conditions of the waterfall. However, in a comical twist, Tanjiro notices that Inosuke has stopped chanting, as it turns out that the boar-headed demon slayer has lost consciousness. If Tanjiro hadn't quickly intervened, Inosuke might have tragically and humorously perished during the training. Whereas, when it is Zenitsu's turn, the yellow-haired demon slayer isn't able to maintain his balance under the waterfall and flows away with the river, while Tanjiro keeps saving him. If it had never been revealed whether Zenitsu successfully completed this part of the training, he might have remained trapped in an endless cycle of drowning and restarting the exercise. Number 4. The Stone Hashira's Impossible Training Hurdle. Gyome Himehime is known as the strongest Hashira, and his distinctive calm demeanor makes it hard to imagine him being humorous. However, a comical twist reveals that Gyome is unintentionally funny. When Zenitsu and Tanjiro arrive at his training grounds, Gyome outlines the steps involved in the training process. After detailing 3 impossible tasks, he humorously mentions that he excluded the part where trainees are roasted over a fire because it would be too dangerous for them. After hearing about the exercise they are going to perform, Zenitsu passes out, and when Tanjiro informs Gyome about Zenitsu's condition, the Stone Hashira nonchalantly advises Tanjiro to put Zenitsu in the freezing water. Later, as Tanjiro admires Gyome's strength and training regimen, Zenitsu hits Tanjiro, exclaiming that he must have lost his mind. Zenitsu then insists that even the Stone Hashira couldn't complete such an impossible task. Meanwhile, in the background, Gyome effortlessly performs the exercise, highlighting his extraordinary abilities. Number 3. Kanroji's training is hell amidst fun. After enduring tough challenges under 3 different Hashiras, Tanjiro is eager to see what Kanroji, the Love Hashira, has in store for his training. However, to his surprise, Tanjiro sees that the motive for the Love Hashira's training is to stretch out and feast on delicious food to relax. Consequently, Kanroji provides Tanjiro with all sorts of exquisite foods that he has never even heard of. However, when it is actually time to train and stretch their bodies, Kanroji becomes adamant and forces the trainees to perform an unbelievable leg split that is nearly impossible for anyone who isn't a professional gymnast. What initially seemed like a fun time with the charming and appealing Love Hashira quickly turns into a nightmare for the trainees, as they struggle to meet her demanding expectations. Number 2. Tanjiro's heartwarming and comedic approach to persuade Gyu. The second episode of the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc features a comedic and heartwarming reunion between the Water Hashira, Gyu Tomioka, and Tanjiro. Upon learning that Gyu will not be joining the training regimen, Tanjiro seeks him out as per Kagaya's request. Arriving at Gyu's doorstep, Tanjiro calls out for him. When he receives no response, Tanjiro boldly announces that he is coming in without permission. Following his forceful entry into Gyu's house, Tanjiro sits very close to him and starts chatting about the training process, while also noting that Gyu seems to be upset about something. The episode then features a humorous montage of Tanjiro persistently trying to persuade Gyu, including waiting for him outside the restroom. After Tanjiro's relentless efforts, Gyu folds in and tells him the reason why he won't join the training regiment. Before moving on to number 1. Please hit that subscribe button. As you can see, we are so close to 1000 subscribers, so please, hit that subscribe button. Number 1. The Wind Hashira's training was filled with hilarious moments thanks to Zenitsu's involvement. Much like Nezuko, Zenitsu's appearance in Demon Slayer is a hint that the following moments will be filled with humor. After Tanjiro finishes his training with the Snake Hashira, he arrives at the Wind Hashira's doorstep. However, just before he reaches the training grounds, Zenitsu unexpectedly appears, exclaiming that Shinazugawa's training is nothing short of hell and therefore, he is desperately fleeing, crawling on the ground because the grueling training has left him unable to walk. Unfortunately for Zenitsu, the Wind Hashira catches up with him and, in a blend of frightening and comedic fashion, tells him that he must either face his training or face his wrath. Terrified, Zenitsu continues to scream in horror, prompting Tsunemi to knock him out. Later in the episode, when Zenitsu regains consciousness, he berates Tanjiro, scolding him for not heeding his warnings and escaping when he has the chance, making this moment by far one of the funniest from the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc.